Please welcome from Lakeland, Lily Bass, City of Lakeland.
Today from George Jenkins Arena, we're inside the Lakeland Center, the site of the 2012 FHSAA Boys Basketball Finals. Today it's the Class 6A State Championship game between the Yellow Jackets of Leesburg and the Vikings of Miami Norland. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Rideout along with Will White, and Will, an interesting matchup here. You've got the defending champion Leesburg Yellow Jackets, who won the state championship in 4A, now in 6A, against the number one team in 6A, the Vikings of Miami Norland.
Yeah, both teams have a lot going for them. Norland's trying to go for their third championship in 7 years. Leesburg's defending champs, so both teams seem like they're going to be pretty evenly matched. A lot on the line. Should be a real exciting game today.
In fact, Norland also trying to become the first Dade County team to win a football and boys basketball state title in an academic year. They would join Port St. Joe, Bradenton Southeast, and Cocoa as the only schools to accomplish the feat since football began in 1963. We'll see if they can finish it off against the defending state champions of Leesburg. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for today. We take a look first at the Yellow Jackets. Joe Tooley, an all-state player, first-team all-state last year, the 4A player of the year. Also in the backcourt, Juilliard Roberts, who averages 6.3 a game. You see Jones, Mitchum, and Nike Little rounding out the starting five for Leesburg, which is coached by Marcel Thomas in his 10th year. He was the 4A coach of the year. Yellow Jackets 23-9 on the year. Here's the starting lineup for the Vikings of Miami Norland. They are 28-3 on the year. As I mentioned, ranked number one in the state in Class 6A, coached by Lawton Williams in his 9th year. Phil's Aim in the backcourt along with Cleon Roberts. He's the key today, the 6'5" senior for the Vikings. And Roberts, Duncan, Williams rounding out the starting five for Miami Norland. By the way, Lawton Williams won his 200th game in the semifinals on Friday. Norland won state championships in 2006 and 2008. Leesburg, the defending state champions in 4A, also won a state championship in 3A in 1977. Yesterday in the semifinals, Miami Norland knocked off number 9 Winter Haven 46-37 to advance. Leesburg was a winner over Wilson out of Jacksonville 57-56. A tightly contested game in which they really Wilson almost came back to win that basketball game. As you look at the matchups today, what are some of the things that you look at, Will?
Yeah, well, you have a really balanced offense with Leesburg. If you go look at their scoring, it's really spread out pretty evenly. You have Tooley and Mitchum both at double digits. But then after that, and Willis also had double digits, but you just see lots of 4s and 5 points per game. And for Norland, it's all about Cleon Roberts, a Georgia Southern signee. He has 17 points a game. And after that, there's a big drop-off. Yesterday in the semifinal game, Roberts took 17 shots. The next closest player with shot attempts was number 8. So look for Leesburg to really try to focus on Roberts, but if you look at comparative scores and everything, it should be a pretty well-balanced game both ways. And both teams really tested to get here, like you said. You know, Leesburg won a close game by one in the semis, the regional quarterfinals and stuff, and Norland tested as well. So neither team's going to be nervous in that sense that they've been there. They've kind of played those close games. So I see it coming down to the very end.
If you would like to buy a DVD of this broadcast, go to FHSAAsports.com. That way you can relive the championship again and again. That's FHSAAsports.com.
Yeah, Norland really kind of relies a lot more on its defense. You know, they only average 58 points a game compared to Leesburg's 68. So you look at Norland's scores throughout the year, a little bit less. Yesterday they held Winter Haven to 17% shooting in the first half. So, you know, it's kind of a defense. It gets a little bit more up-tempo with Leesburg. So a good balance of what's going to prevail here, defense over offense.
Yeah, they also limited Devon Walker. He's a senior that's being recruited by numerous Division I schools, including Kansas State and Alabama. He held him to just 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting. And it's a good thing that they've had good defense as the tip is controlled by the team in dark. That's Miami Norland. They'll be moving from left to right in the opening quarter. But the Vikings defense really helped them overcome a poor shooting game, only 30% as a team. After a miss, the ball followed up. And 2 misses inside by Tyrell Williams, but another big offensive board, and that's something that's going to be the key today for Norland, their size advantage.
Yeah, you look at them here, they're real, I like to call sleek, someone who's tall but thin, but not like overly thin, just really could use their speed. So like a tall, fast, and really get after it.
Cleon Roberts with a basket, the 6'5" senior, puts Norland on the board first.
And Norland in a 1-3-1.
Juilliard Roberts gets it into the corner to Damari Jones. Jones was a third-team All-State player last year. Pass deflected and now stolen by Phil Zane. Norland actually had to beat a couple of ranked teams to get here. Nice little floater along the baseline. Wouldn't go down for Phil Zane, but the weak side rebound to Roberts. His shot is good. Cleon Roberts quickly with 4. Roberts, a Georgia Southern signee, really provided the majority of the offense. A game-high 22 points. In fact, he was the only player in double figures in the semifinals for Miami Norland.
Yeah, so like we said that before the game, that's going to be a big key for them is like, can they slow him down? Yeah, 22, and the next leading scorer was at 4 points.
It'll be interesting to see if they use if the Yellow Jackets, Marcel Thomas, uses that approach. You cut off the head and the body dies.
Yep.
And wow, Norland off to a great start offensively. And it's all because of Cleon Roberts, their 6'5" senior. He has scored all 6 points for the Vikings, who have opened up a 6-0 lead with 6:20 to play here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Cleon Roberts 6, Leesburg 0.
Roberts, I mentioned, a Georgia Southern signee. Vikings 28-3 on the year. I mentioned that they had a little tougher time to get here because they had to knock off number 3 Barron Collier out of Naples in the region finals. They also had to beat number 9 Winter Haven yesterday in the semifinals. For Leesburg, their only ranked opponent throughout the playoffs was Gainesville High School, which was ranked 6th. And they handled Gainesville at home 76-55. Wolfson was unranked, but still 26-5 coming in to the semifinals here in Class 6A.
Yeah, Leesburg had a little bit easier of a route to get here, but they had a really tough regular season playing, you know, Dwyer, Orlando Christian Prep, late Wales, and then a couple out-of-state teams. So they really stepped up their regular season schedule. Shot
was blocked. Jones had a shot blocked. Now here is Mitchum, and the ball tracked down as it goes out of bounds. Actually, it will remain with Leesburg.
Mitchum had a really good semifinal. He had 18 points for Leesburg.
Just under 6 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Vikings with an early 6-0 lead. Substitution is Brian Northley, a 6-foot sophomore, will check in for the Yellow Jackets. Coached by Marcel Thomas, the 4A Coach of the Year in his 10th year. By the way, your officials for today, The referee is Alan Whitlow. The umpires, Jeff Pond and Jason Carroll. They are out of Orlando. Try for three, top of the key, no good by Tooley, and rebounded by the Vikings.
Yeah, Norland went to a 2-3 zone that time, so they've already changed their defense. So they're second defense already. Some teams you see kind of play one defense and others change it up quite a bit. It looks like Norland's changing it up already.
Ball tapped out long. This is Norfleet with it. Left it short. Rebounded by Tula. He got fouled. That will be the first foul of the game. Vikings are playing really good basketball right now. They've won 16 of their last 17 games. The only loss coming against Hialeah Gardens, which will play for the 8A championship tonight.
That's what you see with a lot of these teams when you go through and you see their opponents. These top-tier teams always tend to find each other and play because they kind of know that when they have a good team, so they want to make sure that they're challenged.
Little with a miss, but a rebound foul going to go against the Vikings.
And Norland definitely with the size advantage. You know, they start 6'7", 6'6", and Leesburg more around the 6'4", 6'2" kind of range.
Well, right now the 6'6" and 6'7" players you mentioned, Kevin Duncan and Tyrell Williams, respectively, each with a foul. Quickly, 2 team fouls against Miami Norland.
Yeah, you see Norland in their half court really trying to trap, even out of their zones. Try to trap out that, and what you have to do is reverse the ball, get it out of that first trap really quickly, then try to attack on the backside.
Another turnover for the Yellow Jackets. Under 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Norland with an early 6-0 lead thanks to their senior Cleon Roberts. The Georgia Southern signee at the top of the key. Driving in is the other Roberts, Dalvin Roberts, and a foul call before the shot. This will be on Brian Norfleet. That'll be his first.
Yeah, calling it pretty tight here early on. That's a big factor sometimes. How much are they going to let people play, use their hands?
It's been interesting, and we've talked about this throughout our broadcast this week here at the FHSAA Boys Basketball Finals. There's been a common theme in our rankings, courtesy of Source Hoops. But the number one team has been able to get to the Final Four in all the classifications except for 8A. That was Dr. Phillips, which got beat in the second round of the 8A playoffs.
So whoever's doing those rankings obviously knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Chipley was ranked number 1. They won the 1A title. OCP, Orlando Christian Prep, ranked number 1 in 2A. They won the 2A title. Tampa Prep ranked number 1 in 3A. They won their first ever state championship. Baseline shot, not a good one, but a big rebound inside. And even though Williams had his shot blocked, he got fouled, and Tyrell will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, it looks to be a lot of ball right there.
Must have caught him with a body.
Yeah, anytime you kind of block from behind, you know, even if you get a lot of the ball, most of the time your momentum or your body is going to have to be involved in that. So, again, just kind of depends on, sometimes they'll call that a jump, and sometimes they'll call that a body foul.
Nike Little with a foul. That's his first, team second, and the free throw is good by Tyrell Williams. His first point of the game.
I was going to joke that Nike's cousin's name is Adidas, but I'm just making that up.
Williams shoots 44% from the foul line. He averages 4.8 points a game. And he missed the second free throw. Goes after the rebound. Let's see what they call here. Actually, they're going to say, I think it was last touch by Damari Jones, who was on the baseline. As we've approached our first media timeout, and the Vikings with a 7-0 lead, the number 1 team in Class 6A. And getting back to that for just a moment, in Class 4A, Lake Highland Prep was ranked number 1 in the championship game. They fell to Pinecrest, which was ranked 4th, but they did get to the state championship game. We just saw number 1 Lake Wells really put it to Terry Parker of Jacksonville, 66-30.
Yeah, that was you don't get too many running clocks in the state championship game. And like we were talking about that game, that just shows you, it's not so much against Terry Parker. They had a great team, but it just shows you the level of that where Lake Wells was.
And some people feel that Lake Wells is right there with Ely among the best in the state, regardless of the classification. Ely is ranked number 1 in Class 7A. They will play for the state championship today at 5:05 against Oak Ridge out of Orlando. Marty Palman will be on the call, along with Terry Prim, the head basketball coach of Palm Beach Atlantic. Thanks to all of our coaches for helping us out, and you included, Will. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's been fun.
So the Vikings will throw it in. Under 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Yellow Jackets have gone over half now of this first quarter without a point.
Yeah, both teams playing a zone, and at 6A level, you don't see a lot of boys basketball playing zone. But the Lakeland Center is a great place to play a zone. It is tough to shoot from outside. All right, yeah, I figured I'd probably go in when I was saying that, but it is tough to shoot. So you kind of tend to see that if you could pack it in a little bit and make some people shoot some from outside.
Big time block inside by Malcolm McCray. 6'6" junior. That's the thing. They've got 6'6", 6'7" in the starting lineup, but they got 6'6" guys that come off the bench.
Must be nice.
And that's the first points of the game for McCray, who had the block at one end and the basket at the other. 9-0 Vikings with an early lead. Driving in was Tooley, and looked like he had his shot blocked too. Did they call a foul? They did.
A foul, yeah. Coach Williams isn't real happy with that. Again, same situation we talked before. It looked like probably really pretty clean on the ball, but a little bit of body as well. So consistent. They've been consistent both times, kind of calling that body foul.
Malcolm McCray picks up the foul. That's his first, team third. And the first free throw is no good by the senior, Joe Tooley. Larry Savage, the prep editor of the Gainesville Sun, who is a graduate of Leesburg, informs me Marcel Thomas's third year at Leesburg. He came over from South Lake, so our apologies. I have it listed on the sheet as a 10th year. And Larry also mentions that Leesburg 2-1 in state title games, winning the last two, but lost in 1955 to Auburndale in Class A. Larry, were you at that one? Just kidding. He does remember the 1977 state championship team. He can remember 4 of the starting 5, so that's pretty good.
That's, when they made a lasting impression, obviously.
That's right. Ball taken away. Jackets attacked the rim. The shot was no good, but followed up and in by Damari Jones. That's the first field goal of the game after the free throw by Tooley, and it's a 6-point game.
Yeah, if you're Leesburg, you're probably pretty happy because Norland kind of had that big jump, and they never really fully pulled away or anything, so they kind of found their footing.
Foul called against the Yellow Jackets, Juilliard Roberts. That'll be his first, team third. Non-shooting foul. Cleon Roberts will throw it in right in front of the scorer's table.
Now Leesburg switches to man defense, so both teams really mixing it up, trying to keep the other people off guard.
15-footer rims out. Casillas with a miss. Mitchell in the corner to Tooley for 3, no good, and the weak side rebound to Casillas.
That's a good look at that dribble drive pitch. You see that a lot in the NBA now, where you see the players just spotting up in the corners, where a player drives hard. If the defense helps, they pitch it to that corner looking for the 3.
Vikings by 6, and they throw it away. Stolen away by Andre Mitchell. Mitchell cut off. Swings it up top to Tooley. Fakes a 3, drives in. Good dish down low, and the two-handed jam by Troy Willis. The sophomore is in the scorebook, and it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, Leesburg a little bit of a home court advantage here, being a little bit closer to that Orlando area. So if they can get a couple of those plays, see if they get the momentum going your way.
A feed to the baseline. Good defense. Oh, they called a foul. Willis thought he had a jump ball. Well, I tell you, good help, though, coming over to prevent that layup.
Yeah, that's a good job. Either way, foul or no foul, to keep them from getting the 2 points there.
Aaron Cooper, the 6-foot senior, was the player for the Vikings. Substitution, you see Damari Jones checking out.
You see both teams substituting a lot already. You usually when you're playing that up-tempo style, you got to keep your legs, so you try to, and especially early, get some subs in early. You definitely want to have your legs come the 4th quarter.
As they get it in the paint, now back out to Fabian.
Leesburg back to a 2-3, so they're kind of mixing it up almost every position, going man 2-3, man 2-3, and Norland mixing up a 1-3-1 as well as a 2-3 zone.
Clock down to a minute now remaining here in this first quarter of play, and the Yellow Jackets will get it back.
Less than a minute remaining here in the first quarter play.
Norland making a change again, a 2-2-1 press, which traditionally, if you get somebody in the middle, it's of the presses, it's the easiest to beat.
Yellow Jackets going to turn it over. Traveling is called against Trey Bisbee.
Yeah, like a diamond, a 1-2-1-1 press is a little bit more aggressive. A 2-2-1 is a little bit easier to beat, but it's easy to get the ball across half court, but harder to score against. A diamond defense, you might get a few more turnovers, but it's easy to, if you do get it across half court, you can score a little bit easier.
Each player has had 3 players score so far in this opening quarter. A 4-point lead for Miami Norland. The Vikings ranked number 1 in Class 6A. Intercepted, outlet down the floor is stolen right back.
Yeah, a little bit too long of a pass there. Unless somebody's wide open, you really don't want to throw more than 15 or 20 feet.
Fabian in the lane has his shot deflected by Roberts, but saved with 20 seconds to play now here in the first quarter.
You'll probably try to play for one shot here if you can.
And Cleon Roberts with the basketball. He has 6 of his team's 9 points. Look to him for him to possibly take the final shot. Roberts cut off. Now it's Fabian for 3. No, but he got fouled. That'll be 3 free throws with 1.5 seconds to play.
Yeah, that's a golden rule. You never foul a jump shot.
Second foul on Juilliard Roberts. Cleon Roberts shoots 76% from the free throw line. He's averaging, Fabian, I'm sorry. My apologies. Fabian misses the free throw, shooting 71%.
.5 seconds. Leesburg will be able to get a shot off. Depends on how much pressure Norland wants to put on there, but you want to try to maybe throw the ball in a bit closer to half court if you can and get a shot off from there.
Demetrius Fabian misses his first 2 free throws. He averages just 2.5 points a game. He's a 5'10" senior. The third free throw is good, so he hits 1 of 3. And it's a 5-point lead, and a shot beyond half court. Misses the mark. Hits the camera guy.
It's been a bad day for camera guys.
It has. In the first game, we had Solomon Poole of Terry Parker push the camera guy, just barreled over the top of him, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. A 5-point lead for Miami Norland. We'll head to the second quarter right after this timeout on the FHSAA Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
Sports Authority, offense.
Mike Rideout along with Will White back here at the Lakeland Center. Class 6A state championship game. And, Will, they've kind of weathered the storm, did the Yellow Jackets, after trailing 9-0 early.
Yeah, so they cut that lead in half there, and both teams kind of struggling to find their momentum on offense. Most offense they've got have been transition points. Neither team really having much luck in their half-court sets. And part of that's because the defense is extending. Even though they're in zone, they are kind of trying to push and trap. So whoever can kind of get their feet under themselves the quickest and find a little groove will have a big advantage.
2 more championships after this. Oak Ridge and Ely, 7A at 5:05. Haggerty and Hialeah Gardens at 8:35. Leesburg basketball to begin the second quarter of play. And as we take a look at the first quarter stats, layup good inside. Leesburg just 2 for 11 shooting, 18.2%. 4 points for Jones now. A late whistle, but a foul called. Norland, meanwhile, was 4 of 13, 30.8%. They out-rebounded Leesburg 11-8. Foul called on Damari Jones. That's his first, and that's the 16th foul against the Yellow Jackets. It'll be 2 shots for Tyrell Williams. Williams now 1 for 3 from the foul line.
Yeah, Thule's just, having a rough start of it here. They really need him for Leesburg to step up there a little bit, only with 1 point so far. He's their leading scorer, 14 points a game.
Tyrell Williams, 6'7", just a sophomore.
Good job stopping short of half court right there in the trap.
Ball deflected and now stolen. Loose ball picked up by Cleon Roberts. Roberts will bring it up quickly into the front court. Double team. Bounces up top to Phil Zane.
That's the good thing about trapping defenses. It's really hard to run a half-court set offense. You can beat, obviously, a trap.
Yeah, that's a carry.
Travel. That, but you just got to move the ball out and attack. Because obviously, if you can pass the ball out of a trap, there's 2 people on you. So once you get it out of there, it's 4 on 3. So you just don't want to give the defense time to reset. Once you get that ball out of that first trap, attack and pitch to the open area and get a look off.
Each team has turned the ball over a few times in this first half. That's the 5th turnover for Leesburg, or excuse me, for Norland. Driving in, a shot blocked again. Roberts, I think that was Roberts at 2 or 3. Missed that shot.
Yeah, I think 3.
Thule will throw it in. Trying to get it in.
Looked like he tried
to
to
heavy
throw it between his
traffic.
legs.
Baseline shot rims out for Mitchum. Rebounded by Norland.
You see Norland still 6 points of their 11 from Cleon Roberts, kind of their go-to guy. He had 6 of those points right off the bat the first minute and a half, so they've done a good job since then. He's attacking here.
Good hands. I think that was Thule that reached in and knocked it from Roberts.
So they did a good job of slowing him down after the beginning there, but they're going to have to continue to focus on him like he's right there looking for the drive.
Roberts. Lob pass stolen away by Troy Willis. Now here's Thule. Thule got fouled and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, good call there. Defender saying he was straight up, but got him right across the elbow.
That's the 2nd foul on Tyrell Williams, the 6'7" sophomore, so he may have to check out.
Yeah,
in fact, coming off the bench is McCray.
Replaced with a 6'6".
Yeah, so you substitute 6'7" for 6'6".
But still, you always say you're a starter for a reason. So, coming out, that is a big loss. And as a coach, you start, you really start to balance whether you want someone to pick up their 3rd foul in the first half or not. So it's so early in the second quarter, you definitely have to come out.
Thule's 2nd free throw, no good. Rebounded by Phil Zane. 2 points for Joe Thule, the 4A player of the year. He averages 13.7 a game, also 4.3 assists. 2 points on 2 of 4 free throw shooting. Nice move, baseline left. Kevin Duncan with his first 2 of the game.
If you can dribble out of that double team, that's even better because then obviously you have 5 on 3.
After a miss, Jones with a rebound. Out of room and almost threw it away. Now Thule with it. Back to Mitchum. Mitchum, cross-court pass, trying to feed it down to the baseline to Willis, and he overthrew him.
Yeah, trying to force that one there. Got a little impatient.
5:29 to play. Second quarter action in this Class 6A state championship game. The Vikings ranked number 1 in Class 6A. Leesburg, the defending 4A state champion.
I think Leesburg's number 2 by max prep. So
okay.
So you have number 1 against number 2.
Leesburg number 4 according to Source Hoops.
Pretty close, right around there. Yeah, Leesburg was lucky to get past Wolfson yesterday. Great.
Yeah.
If you want to go watch a good game, go back on FHSAA Sports and Play On Sports, and you can watch the last couple minutes of that Leesburg-Wolfson game. Very exciting.
In fact, Leesburg was outscored in the second half, 33-27. They end up winning by 1, 57-56.
Yeah, it was that second quarter, I guess, gave them a little bit of an advantage.
Andra Mitchum had 18 in the win for Leesburg, but so far has yet to score. He wears number 5. Thule with it, picked up by the other number 1, Phil Zane. Now bounce pass over to Todd Slate, 6'1" junior. Baseline shot by Little, no good, but the weak side rebound by Thule. Double team, but a nice find inside, and it draws a foul Little will shoot 2.
Yeah, that's a good job of, you almost kind of see this with football. When the quarterback gets outside the pocket, you want a player to come back to you. We kind of had a similar version of that. He got stuck in the corner. Instead of everybody standing around, he cut from the backside wing and was able to get open. So that was a really good job by Little working off the ball.
First foul on Cleon Roberts as the free throw is good, and that's the first point of the game for the 6'4 senior, Nike Little.
You just see that a lot when people get trapped. The next pass, and people just stand around instead of work to get open. So that was a really good job right there.
Well, he hits 1 of 2. Leesburg 3 for 6 from the foul line, trailing by 4.
Yeah, both teams just kind of doing similar things. You know, trapping, trying to make it tough for you to get set into a half-court offense. Both teams relatively balanced. I think Norland has a little bit of an advantage with Roberts inside, but pretty well-balanced teams.
Juilliard Roberts will check out. Andre Mitchum is back in. Mitchum averages 10.6 a game. I mentioned the game yesterday, 18 points, also 3 rebounds. 3 players were in double figures for Leesburg. Leon Roberts was the only player in double figures for Norland.
Yeah, if Leesburg has any advantage, it would be that. It's just a really balanced offense. They don't have that one go-to person. Every team would like to have that big scorer on a team, but if that's all you have, it's kind of easy to focus on that person. So Leesburg's balance versus Norland and Roberts, you know, we'll see how this plays out.
First foul on Gino Fils-Ain. Each team will be in the bonus with the next foul. 6 apiece here in the first half. 4-point game. Leesburg with a basketball, down 4. Lake cut off as they work it inside to Jones. Nice play. Jones got it back. Well, that's going to be basket interference.
Yep.
Not sure if the ball would have gone in the basket anyway, but had it gone, it wouldn't have counted.
You can see Norland really well. You see that defense. I like a good 1-3-1. We actually run that predominantly ourselves, and if you have the people to really cause that first person to trap, cause them some trouble, if they have to pass out of that, it has to be a lob or something, because then you got everything covered. Really, the only weakness is the backside corner, but if you make the team reverse the ball slowly, you have plenty of time to recover, and you can tell they just have real good luck with that this year. You see their opponent scores throughout the year. See a lot of in the 30s, a couple in the 25, 17. So, you know, again, Norland really kind of prides itself in its defense.
3 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the opening half. A low-scoring game.
You know, Leesburg, on the other hand, I always go back to Patrick Ewing's quote, like, we spend a lot of money, or we make a lot of money, but we spend a lot of money. So they score a lot of points, but they give up quite a bit of points as well, mostly a lot of 60s, 70s. So right now, this low-scoring game definitely favors Norland. That's more their style.
Yeah. And the Vikings with a basketball and a 4-point lead. Fabian in the corner to Cooper. Cooper feeds it to the wing for 3 by Roberts. No good.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, though. Again, reverse that ball against the trap. They got a nice look off there. Just got to hit it.
Pass deflected and stolen. McCray picked up the loose ball. Fabian guarded by Mitchum. Now here's Roberts. Roberts got free and lays it in.
Nice left hand right there, strong.
8 points for Cleon Roberts. Cross-court pass over to Lake.
And Norland just so long, tall, long arms that just makes it hard to pass out of that trap.
Tooley still looking for his first field goal of the game. He works around a pick, but nothing there.
You can tell, yeah, they're really focusing on him, and so he has, like you said, only made 2 free throws.
Taj Lake for 3, no good. Vikings come away with it. Roberts again, layup. 10 points now for the 6'5 senior, and timeout call by Leesburg.
Yeah, Coach Thomas wanted to push off there, but I thought that was just a nice, strong drive. That's what he's talking to him about there.
8-point lead now with 2:18 to play until halftime. Only one field goal will in the second quarter for Leesburg. They only had 2 field goals in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're lucky it's only 8 because you do feel like Norland's playing with a much better pace. They've set that tone. Leesburg just really having a tough go to get into their offense, and Norland's getting back on defense so well that it's really limited Leesburg's transition. So they're going to have to really look to push the ball a little bit faster or find to really attack that backside out of the traps. But Norland's just playing a whole lot better so far.
Coming up later today at 5:05, the Class 7A state championship between Oak Ridge and number 1 Ely. Ely also nationally ranked, number 20 in the country. And then at 8:35, it's the 8A championship game between Haggerty and Hialeah Gardens. You can watch both games live right here on the FHSAA network. And there's the first field goal of the game for the All-State guard, Joe Tooley.
Yeah, at some point, if you're having a rough go of it on offense, sometimes you just need your best player to kind of step up and say, hey, I'm going to get you a couple points just on ability alone, and then maybe get yourself going.
Troy Willis had deflected it, but saved by the Vikings. Fabian in the hands of Roberts. Roberts double team. Did he step out of bounds? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he got that when he caught that ball. He's so close to that sideline to use that as an extra defender. And good job not reaching in and bailing him out there and just letting him step out of bounds and getting the ball back.
So a chance for Leesburg to cut it to 4, or they can make it a 3-point game on a long-range shot. They have yet to hit one beyond the arc. In fact, neither team has hit a 3. That's Tooley for 3, and rebounded by the Vikings.
Yeah, both teams not shooting the 3 very well early on.
Roberts to the baseline. Draws contact, no whistle. Rebound kept alive by Decius, excuse me.
You're excused.
A minute left here in the second. 6-point lead for the Vikings, ranked number 1 in Class 6A. Trying to become the first Dade County team to win football and boys basketball state titles in an academic year. As our monitor got knocked over, but nice save, Will. Appreciate that. Unfortunately, everything
your phone
else
bit the dust there.
Yeah.
You got this, I got. Out of bounds there. It's going to maintain Norland's ball. Real tussle. We've seen today a lot of people diving over cameramen, and this hasn't been a very good day for technology.
It's a dangerous day today.
Has not been a good day for technology.
No.
I think we've had the safest is our camera guy up here, but boy, the water goes flying, your phone bits of dust, there's the scorebook's all wet. Other than that, it's all good.
All right, basket and a foul.
I don't know who to protect, you, the scorebook, or the TV here.
I was trying to protect it all.
Foul number 2, Juilliard Roberts. That's his 3rd.
Well, Juilliard Roberts just picked up his 3rd foul.
The Gray takes a 3-point play.
Yeah, Roberts a starter, so that's going to be a big loss. Third foul in the first, especially with only 25 seconds to go. A lot of times you see coaches going a little offense, defense at the end of the game, but also the end of the first half, you can do that sometimes when you have somebody in foul trouble.
And the basket is good by McCray. He's got 5 points here in the half. Well, what was the call there?
Called them out of bounds there, and they wanted to push. So, not a very good last few seconds here for Leesburg. Norland can hold here for a last shot.
13 seconds and counting. The ball almost stolen away by Mitchell. Well, it went off of the Vikings.
Yeah, 10 seconds, plenty of time here, 9.9. Usually you can go coast to coast in about just under 4 seconds for a guy, so there's plenty of time to bring the ball up. Maybe a nice high screen and roll, look to get a shot off.
Tooley, hop, skip, jump pass down to the baseline, layup good by Troy Willis. The sophomore beats the buzzer. And our halftime score, the Vikings of Miami Norland with a 7-point lead. They led by as many as 9 in the opening half. Leesburg with only 13 points, but they're still in this game down by only 7. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back about a minute or so before the start of the third quarter. Recap the first half numbers. Our halftime score again in this 6A championship game. Miami Norland 30, Leesburg, or 20, Leesburg 13.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to the Lakeland Center, the Class 6A state championship game between number 1 Miami Norland and defending state champion Leesburg. A 7-point lead for the Vikings at the break. Mike Wright out, Will White. Let's take a look at our first half stats. In the first half, Miami Norland shot 38.1%, 8 of 21. Each team had 21 shots. Norland made 3 more. Leesburg, 5 of 21, was good for 23.8%. Will, your thoughts on some of the stats from the first half?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that they both attempted 21 shots. It's just that Nolan's made a couple more there. and one more free throw. So that's really the difference in the game. Everything else relatively close statistically. So just, hey, make a few more shots.
Yeah, in fact, each team with 3 assists and 9 turnovers. Norland does have the advantage in the rebound department with 18-14, but each team with 9 offensive rebounds in the game. So, yeah, everything pretty close, pretty similar here as we get ready for the start of the second half. 8 minutes up on the board, so we're 16 minutes away from a Class 6A state champion getting crowned. And it will be the Vikings basketball to begin the third quarter of play. They will be moving from our right to our left.
Yeah, Leesburg extending their pressure a little bit more towards half court than they did that first half. So maybe, trying to cause some offense with their defense, get a couple turnovers a little bit closer to half court.
Duncan with it. Roberts back inside to Duncan. Kevin Duncan with 4 points, 6'6" senior, scores the first 2 of the second half. Roberts shot no good along the baseline, rebounded by the other Roberts, Cleon Roberts of Miami Norland. Quickly swings it into the front court.
It looks like more like Leesburg's more like a 1-2-2 half-court trap, which leaves that middle wide open.
Bounce pass inside to Williams, and Williams gets 2 more. He's got 4. That's his first field goal of the game, and quickly a 4-0 run for the Vikings. They've opened up a double-digit lead. That's their largest of the game.
And Norland also extending their pressure more to three-quarter court instead of half court.
Roberts drives in, feeds it to the baseline to Jones. Back out it comes now to Mitchum. Mitchum inside the arc, and air ball. Boy, Andre Mitchum had a big game in the semifinals, but he is scoreless here in the championship game.
Yeah, you look up Leesburg, the people on the court right now, you got 3 people with 4 points apiece and 2 people shut out.
Roberts just kind of threw it up there, got the contact, and will shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, he seems to be the difference maker. If you really, come into the game objectively, just looking at both teams, seem relatively even type teams, except Robert puts them over the edge a little bit. And Thule's a good player for Leesburg, although he hasn't really quite got off on his game yet so far.
Leon Roberts shoots 76% from the foul line and now has 11 in the game. That was his first free throw attempt. Foul was called on Troy Roberts. That's number 2 on the sophomore.
Like you alluded to earlier, they're trying to maintain position with the football team who also won a state championship. And I didn't realize it was that rare that's only happened, was it 3 other times?
Yeah,
this would be the 4th?
In fact, it happened recently with Cocoa in 2008-2009. Bradenton Southeast before that did it in 94-95. But you have to go back to the 70s when Port St. Joe did it. 1971 in football, 1972 in basketball. So they have a chance to become only the 4th team ever to accomplish the feat since the football playoff era began in 1963.
Yeah, you see a lot more individualized high school athletes in it more. It used to be you kind of would play all the different sports and everything. Now it seems with all the AAU circuits and everything that people kind of tend to stick with one sport now, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. I kind of like the players that play a bunch of different sports and stay active.
Yeah. And I know coaches like that too, because you tend to have more athletic guys. Troy Willis hit 1 of 2. He's got 5 in the game. And that's Phil's aim with his first points on the afternoon. A 3 ball to extend the lead, the largest at 15.
Yeah, just Leesburg just really having a hard time getting a shot off in half court. Again, Norland just closing out so well. Always seems like there's always 2 people on the ball. And if they do beat it, they're having trouble catching the ball.
Well, that's a big 3 right there.
Yeah, definitely needed. It was starting to get to that point.
First of the game for Andre Mitchum, the 6'2 junior. Roberts. That's going to be an offensive foul. No, they're going to count the basket, and it's going to be a blocking foul. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I disagree with that. It seemed like he was there in position. Now, although the contact did take place on the side, and a lot of times that's what the officials will look for. Does the contact take place in the center of the body? If so, it's more likely to be a charge. But that was kind of on the side, but definitely looked like he was there a long time. First foul on Andre Mitchum. Count the basket for Roberts. He now has 14 in the game and a 3-point play the old school way. 6'5" senior headed to Georgia Southern. That's a big play there. That's 3 points going the other way. Just made a three on the other end here by Leesburg, so that was a big call.
And already they have scored more points in this third quarter than they did in the first or second quarter. They had 10 in each quarter, 12 here in the third. Yellow Jackets go inside to Willis, who draws the foul, and Troy Willis will go back to the line and shoot 2.
That's a lesson for all the younger people listening at home is if you attack the basket hard, they tend to give the advantage to the offensive player. You know, if you really attack and you stay under control, you know, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt most of the time.
Troy Willis at 6'5", drew the foul from the 6'6" Kevin Duncan. Third foul on Duncan. 6 points now for Troy Willis. Chance to bring it back to 13. But he missed it.
And you're going to have to make a lot of your free throws. Obviously, I mean, that's obvious you got to make free throws. But if you're down, they become even exponentially more important.
5 times the Yellow Jackets have gone to the line for 2 shots. And 5 times they've only hit 1 of 2. So they're shooting 50% from the foul line. That 3 blocked by Williams, kept alive though by Jones, and then he throws it away, and here is Roberts. Look out, a little showtime for the 6'5" senior.
Yeah, that was impressive too. He kind of pulled away from the defender as well. You thought maybe he was going to get in there and be able to get to him, but he just pulled away from him.
And Willis with a miss. Chance to go up 18 now. Reverse layup, good.
Williams. Timeout here.
Timeout call by Marcel Thomas as Tyrell Williams with his 6th point has helped Miami Norland open up this game to an 18-point advantage.
Yeah, Coach Thomas for Leesburg upset there with kind of a no call, but that was good. That was a good no call. It was a good block. So right now, it's just got to get his guys back at composure because they kind of were starting to make a little momentum, kind of going their way. Now Norland's had their little run right there, so you know, just kind of getting there, kind of calm them down a little bit, do what they were doing, kind of try to get back into the game. Norland just wants to keep on doing what they've been. Again, this is their kind of style, you know, a little bit low scoring, pressure defense. So everything's kind of gone Norland's way so far.
Don't forget, 2 more championship games on tap today, right here on the FHSAA Network. Coming up at 5:05, it'll be Oak Ridge out of Orlando, which defeated Oviedo 62-61 in the 7A semis against number 1 ranked Ely. You think you're seeing good defense right now by Norland? Wait till you see Pompano Beach Ely. Nationally ranked Ely, ranked number 1 in 7A. They defeated St. Pete yesterday. That's coming up at 5:05, and then tonight at 8:35, it's the 8A championship game between Haggerty and Hialeah Gardens.
Well, Roberts already had his season average with 17 points. So he's bringing it big time here to the state championship game. And he's doing it really under control, too. He's not like he's going all crazy or anything.
Roberts, the other Roberts, down low to Williams, has his shot blocked. Good play defensively by the Yellow Jackets. Tooley has his pass thrown, taken away by Roberts.
Lob. Oh, no, the defender backed off him, went ahead and took him all the way to the basket. You got to stop the ball there first. I think he was kind of worried, like what I was worried about was that little alley-oop, but so that was a good job there by realizing that and just taking it to the hoop there by Delamie.
And all 5 points for Gino here in the third quarter of play. That 3 in and out. Rebounded, though, by Willis. And he's double, even triple teamed along the baseline. His pass deflected and stolen. Good defense. They're going to call a jump ball as Taj Lake reached in there and tied it up. It'll be Yellow Jackets ball, but there is a media timeout with 3:36 to play in the third quarter. It's a 20-point lead for the Vikings of Miami Norland here in the Class 6A state championship game. Again, Joe Tooley, the 4A player of the year with only 4 points for the Yellow Jackets. We mentioned Andre Mitchum, who had the big game in the semifinals yesterday with 18 points. Finally got in the scorebook here in the third quarter with a 3.
Yeah, so the Leesburg's big 2 has a total of 7 points, while Norland's big 1 has 17. So that's just really the big difference is Norland's Roberts has really been able to kind of get off his game, but Tooley, you even see him over there on the bench. He's sitting down while the other team is all huddled up, so just looks like he's just frustrated.
Also, Juilliard Roberts had 10 yesterday. He is yet to score.
Yeah, so somebody's got to step up. You know, like you see kind of a common theme here is just, you know, no one for their, 4 points, 6 points, 3 points, just not going to get it done.
In fact, taking it a step further, The 5 starters for Leesburg today, Will, have scored a total of 9 points.
Wow. And I think, give credit to Norland. Their defense has just been swarming. Look at it here. Just 2 people, it seems like, on someone every time, and rebounding really well.
Mitchell with a miss. Vikings with the basketball and a 20-point lead. Again, trying to become just the 4th team, the 4th school to win a football and basketball championship in the same academic year since the football playoff era began in 1963.
Yeah, Leesburg's trying to do some full court or half court pressure defense there, but they're not really on the ball. If you got 2 people up there, you cannot allow that guy to pass out of there. So they're going to have to apply even a little bit more pressure.
Each team looking for that 3rd state championship. Baseline move, but Lake with a miss.
Like you see here, Leesburg's defender is closer to half court, but just kind of letting Fabian do whatever he needs to do without applying a lot of pressure.
Aaron Cooper. Loose ball picked up by Mitchell. Tooley. And a
Good
shot
defense.
blocked by Roberts. Yes, indeed. Last touch, though, by Norland.
Yeah, it was really good body control right there by Roberts. Is that, they tried to come into him pretty hard, but he did a good job of going straight up and using his long arms to just flick the ball away. Instead of swatting, you just kind of want to flick, and he did a good job of just flicking that away.
Well, here in the 3rd quarter, Leesburg 1 of 8 from the floor. Norland 7 of 8.
Wow.
Driving in contact, but no foul.
Seems like there's a lid on the Leesburg's bucket over there.
7 of 8, good for 87.5%. And that average will just continue to go up with easy baskets like that.
Yeah, you can't be wide open under the basket and allow someone to pass it to them from half court.
That's
definitely
7.
miscommunication on defense.
Excuse me, that's now 7 for Tyrell Williams. And a foul called. That will put Leesburg at the line to shoot 2.
Everyone's kind of, the Norland fans here, a little upset about that call, but everyone tends to kind of watch the ball sometimes. But you alluded to this earlier, the body is often the problem, and that was the case there. He did get him with the body.
Joe Tooley shooting 2. The first free throw gives him 5 points. You see Mitchum checking out.
Nice crowd again here today. Both sides pretty full.
And Leesburg brought a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, they just need a little something to get them going. A big dunk or a big 3, just something to get back into this game, because they do have some offensive potential, but they need something, some sort of spark.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter, and the Vikings turn it over.
Even though they turned it over right there, that middle just beats wide. Norland's attacking the middle of that 1-2-2, and you cannot allow any sort of pressure defense, full court, half court. If you're trying to trap, you cannot allow the other team to get the ball in the middle, and Norland's doing a good job of attacking that middle.
Followaway short, shot by Tooley left short. Tooley has struggled today, as has his teammates. Now here's Cooper. An air ball, but right to the teammate, McCray, kept alive by the Vikings.
It just seems like there's been a million block shots today.
Lake into the front court. Leesburg needs a basket. They're down 20, but they throw it away as Fabian made a great play on the basketball. Finds his teammate Roberts, who lays it in. That's 9 points in the quarter for Cleon Roberts, 19 for the game.
That's good defense right there. You try to, out of a trap, you try to show high and then get out of it with bounce passes, but right there he just tried to pass over the top of it, and that's going to be tough to do against a trap.
Baseline shot good by Damari Jones. He's got 6.
Damari Jones.
As we wind down this 3rd quarter in the Class 6A state championship game. Timeout called, though, by Miami Norland.
Yeah, I think he's afraid of getting a 10-second count.
30-second timeout.
Norland won state titles in 2006 and 2008, trying to win a 3rd today. Lachlan Williams won his 200th game on Friday. Also, Melvin Randall, who coaches Ely in the next championship game, celebrated a birthday on March the 1st.
That's a good birthday present.
Yeah.
You know, Final Four, getting ready to advance
to the finals.
championship. Yeah, you'll take that every time.
And they've also been told that if they win the championship today, they will be invited to that prestigious ESPN national tournament.
Did we find out if...
haven't confirmed. I think Lake Wales could be that other team, but I haven't confirmed that yet. I did confirm, Coach Randall mentioned in the press conference yesterday that Ely will be offered that opportunity.
Really relatively new, just been going on for a few years. But the ESPN, what do they call it, Rise?
Yeah.
Let's let this dunk happen first. Wow. Yeah, they're just, again, with Norland just attacking that middle, and then it's wide open. They have both people open, the middle and right there in the dunk. So Leesburg's going to have to come up with some sort of different pressure defense if they want to try to get back into this game.
7 points for McCray. The shot beyond half court is no good, but it's all Miami Norland now. A 22-point lead as we head to the fourth and final quarter. 8 minutes remaining in this Class 6A state championship. Our score at the end of 3, Miami Norland 44, Leesburg 22, right here on the FHSAA Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to Lakeland. 44-22, Miami Norland, number 1 in Class 6A, looking to end that way. In fact, if they bring home a state championship, at least the rankings according to Source Hoops would mean that 5 number 1 teams so far would have won a state championship. Ely, also number 1, would play next.
Yeah, so those rankings seem to be pretty accurate. And it doesn't take, you know, if you just see a team play a few times, you can get a pretty good idea about where they compare to everybody else. We saw kind of early in this game, too, as well. Norland just seemed like, with Roberts and Thule having a rough game, it seemed like they had just a little bit too much for Leesburg.
And Norland, winners of 16 of their last 17. The only loss coming against 8A Hialeah Gardens, which will play for the championship tonight.
But it was not an easy ride here for Norland, like you had said earlier. You know, defeating Winter Haven 46-37, and then they defeated Barron Collier 49-46. So
a couple of top 10 teams.
And Pembroke Pines, they won in overtime in the regional quarterfinals.
That's right. Actually, I missed that one. How could I miss that? That was the number 2 ranked team. And so they beat 3 ranked teams to get here.
And they won their first round game by 16. Not like, you know, not a big, it's obviously maybe more than this game. So they've had a tough road, so they've definitely earned it.
Got it the old-fashioned way. A little over 7 minutes to play in the game, and timeout call by Miami Norland. Checking stats through 3. Only 13% shooting for Leesburg in that third quarter. 2 for 15. And how about Miami Norland? They were 10 of 13, 76.9%.
Yeah, again, just you looking at their defense and just, you know, swarming just comes to mind. And just you look at the game and you don't understand how they can double team and then continue to recover, but they're just doing that really well. It always seems like there's 2 people on there just giving Leesburg fits.
They've also out-rebounded Leesburg 31-19. Get back to Ely for just a moment. I asked Coach Randall yesterday, I said, I will understand if you want to reserve the right to answer this after the game today, but, you know, how does this team compare? He's won 3 state championships. Just curious how this team compared to some of the other championship teams, and he did say that his 1999 team is the best team that he's had. They were 34-1.
Wow.
But he said if this team wins a championship, that this team would be considered his best team because this team is doing some other things that team didn't. For example, the national rankings. They're ranked 20th nationally.
And that's what I've seen here. You know, Florida boys and girls basketball is really, I think the last 10 years or so, just taken off, kind of put himself on the map even more. There's obviously always been good players and teams, but just kind of, I'm not sure if it's an AAU thing or whatever, but you do kind of see the people playing a lot more basketball, and the talent's just superior. Because Florida's definitely hasn't been known in the past as a basketball state, but you know they've really made a good showing of it and had players kind of going here, there, and everywhere. Austin Rivers, you know, now at Duke, so
right. This game very similar to the first game today because Lake Wells held Cherry Parker to only 30 points. They did put more points up offensively. 66-30 was the final in that one, but from a defensive standpoint, it's very similar.
Yeah, because Norland, it's not like Norland has 50, 60, 70 points already. They're in the 40s, so it's not, you know, it's not that bad. Leesburg hasn't done a terrible job on defense, but just give credit to Norland's defense, just completely locking down Leesburg. You have Thule with only 6, and they really needed him to be in the 20s if they had any chance to win this game.
You know, Will, you hear the cliche all the time in football, defense wins championships. What do you think about basketball?
Yeah, I think you've kind of seen that today, even earlier with the earlier game with Lake, that you see is all predicated on defense. You know, the defense becomes team's offense, and, you know, just you definitely can see that because you could always be in any game if your defense is always there.
Thule wanted to take the shot, but they converged on it quickly. That left Mitchum open, and he knocks down his second 3 of the game.
The only place where I don't think that's true anymore is the NFL. It's almost more, you know, they kind of given the offense so many advantages. It's all about who's got the best offense. Look at the Patriots. You know, they didn't have much of a defense, and we're right there in it.
Roberts needs to hurry, and he got bailed out. A foul called on Juilliard Roberts, and that'll be number 4 on Roberts.
Juilliard Roberts, 6'4".
Substitution, as you see, Demetrius Fabian returning for Miami Norland. Roberts to throw it in. Now here's Roberts. Leaner off the glass for 2 more.
Yeah, he's just had a really quiet 21-point game already. You know, it's not like he's taking every shot or whatever. He's had a real good game, real solid.
Yeah, 6 in the first quarter, 4 in the second, but 9 in the third quarter. Went for the block instead, got the foul. And that will be the 3rd foul on Tyrell Williams. Damari Jones will shoot 2 shots, 6 points today for the 6'4" senior, 3rd team All-State last year.
Well, Leesburg must be a growing area because they were 4A last year. They've added classifications and they went up. Most of the time if you add classifications, maybe you go down, but they went up 2 classifications.
And he got both free throws. Long pass at the other end. Thule went up, couldn't get it. Roberts came down with it, finds his teammate, but he missed the shot, but he got his own rebound and put it back in there. McCray now with 9.
That was really good hands to be able to catch that, maintain control without having to travel.
48-27 Norland.
And it's Norland. They close out so well. And a good closeout, you don't want to try to get to somebody without being up, you know, standing too so tall the defender can just drive by you. Just coming in low with a hand up. They've been really well coached on defense. Leesburg just having a tough go getting into anything.
Under 6 minutes to play in the game. Dalvin Roberts, sophomore, had it poked from behind. Tried to save it. And I think they're going to call a foul. I think even Leesburg questions that call. Troy Willis got called for the foul. That's his 3rd. Leesburg fans aren't happy about that call.
Yeah, Leesburg's kind of running out of time here. If you're going to have any sort of chance, you're going to have to make a move right away.
Mitchum heading to the sideline. Fabian to throw it in. Looks back door. Lob pass deflected out of bounds. Miami Norland 28-3 on the year. Leesburg 23-9. Number 1 versus the defending state champions. We thought going in would be a pretty good matchup, but it's been all Vikings today.
Yeah, I really did. I just didn't see Leesburg struggling this much on offense. But give credit to Norland again. Their defense is just suffocating. And even situations like that, just doesn't seem like Leesburg at this point really is kind of given too much of a defensive effort compared to Norland. You still see them hands up, kind of trying to attack there, getting the ball.
Well, and as good as Miami-Norland was in the semifinals defensively, they only shot 30% from the floor, so I thought that was another reason that Leesburg had a good chance in this one.
Yeah, but they looked like Norland shot pretty well today. Yeah, much better. You know, earlier here it was 50%. And here, if you're shooting 50% from the field, that's pretty good. This is a tough place to shoot. We kind of talked about that in some of the other games. So, you know, those teams that attack the rim and get the ball inside have a big advantage in here. And Nolan's getting that ball right around the hoop a lot more. Beating Leesburg's press or half-court trap and getting that ball close to the basket.
7 points now for Troy Willis. Foul was on McCray, his second. And once again, he hits 1 of 2. He's done that 3 times today. A 22-point lead for the Vikings.
Yeah, both teams losing a lot of seniors, so we're going to have to kind of have some other people step up if they want to be coming back again next year.
All deflected out of bounds by the junior, Trey Bisbee. Yellow Jackets lose 4 of their starting 5. Tooley, Roberts, Jones, and Little are seniors. Andre Mitchell, a 6'2 junior. And an offensive foul.
Yeah, that's a really good call right there. He uses offhand to kind of push away to create some space to get open there.
Just the second on Cleon Roberts. He is one of 3 seniors in the starting lineup for the Vikings. Gino Filzane, Cleon Roberts, and Kevin Duncan, your 3 seniors. Dalvin Roberts, a sophomore, and Tyrell Williams, a sophomore. They'll be back. Tooley for 3. Just has not been his day today. Only 1 field goal for the first-team All-State player.
Yeah, Nolan's done a really good job of concentrating on him, making him get the ball out, or if he does shoot, those kind of long jumpers. And again, Norland getting that ball right at the basket.
That will send McCray to the line.
And see, the main difference here is when you're watching Leesburg, they're having 2 people come at the ball handler, but they're not all over him, so they're able to pass out of there. You watch Norland, once that ball gets across half court, if they got 2 people on him, they're all the way up on there, making that pass a lot more difficult. So Leesburg's just not pressuring nearly as hard as Norland is, because they're both kind of doing the same thing, a half court 1-3-1 trap, but Norland's just much more successful at it and much more aggressive.
11 points today for the 6'6 junior McCray. Now 1 for 2 from the line, 1 for 3, and the rebound to Bisbee. Mitchum for 3. And rebounded by the Vikings. Norland quickly on the attack again. And Roberts for 2 more. That's 23 today for the Georgia Southern signee.
And when you think about that, when Leesburg only has 28 total, Roberts is almost in the 4th quarter, almost even to what Leesburg has as a team.
And timeout call by Leesburg with 3:46 to play in the game. 52-28, Miami-Norland. They only led by 7 at the break, but even though it was just 20-13, well, you still kind of sense that things were going right for Norland.
Yeah, just early on, you can just see them being a lot more active and pushing the ball and attacking a whole lot more. And just Leesburg just kind of seemed a little flat. And then you just start to decide, you know, is that Leesburg, is it Norland? But I always try to give credit to the defensive team there. And I've just been really impressed with Norland's defense today. Really good team defense, communicating, attacking those trap zones really, really hard on defense and trying to cause some turnovers.
And Norland has just gotten better as the game has worn on, which is, you know, similar to yesterday against Winter Haven. They had 10 in the first, 10 in the second, 11 in the third, 15 in the fourth. Today, 10 in the first, 10 in the second, just like yesterday. 24 in the third today, and already 8 points here in the 4th quarter. So
Yeah, you're right. Usually, like you said, looks like they've been like building up, but today just kind of exploded in that second half. And part of it is, I think it's just their really good defense, but just looking at Leesburg's kind of their nonverbals the second half, they've just really been kind of down. And sometimes, maybe you go into a boxing match and you get hit a couple times, and maybe you just realize the other person's a little bit better than you. Are you going to step up and fight, or sometimes it's just difficult, and Leesburg's had a rough go of it.
Mitchum, face-up jumper, no good, rebounded by Roberts. I'll have to check and see how Roberts is doing in the rebound department. Seems like he's grabbed a bunch of them today.
I think you will get that answer here shortly.
Well, not as many as I thought. He's got, 5 now?
Yeah, 5. But it just seems that way because he's just been everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's 10 of 15 from 2, 3 free throws, 4 rebounds, 23 points, 4 assists,
4 steals,
a block. That's your stat line that you can be proud of.
McCray back to the line.
Meanwhile, Leesburg's top 2 players, Mitchum and Tuli, are combined 3 of 20 from the field.
Try for 3. Tuli with another miss. And we'll go out of bounds back to Norland.
Well, we have seen a lot of exciting games here this week. I keep going back to the Tampa Prep semifinal win. Was that Providence?
Yeah, they beat Providence in overtime.
And then you had Leesburg's game yesterday against Wolfson. That was a tough, hard battle game. So there's been a lot of really, really solid games here this week.
Well, even going back to, as Cleon Roberts gets 2 more, now 25 in the game. But you go back to Tuesday, Hawthorne Union County was the second game of the tournament. And Union County went to the free throw line with 2.8 seconds to play with a chance to send the game into overtime. They hit the first free throw but missed the second. But yeah, Providence, Tampa Prep, 56-50. Tampa Prep won that game in overtime. So we've had a few, mostly it seems like blowouts though here at the tournament.
Yeah, which I think is a little bit opposite of the girls. The girls last week, it did seem like going from 6A to 8A actually worked out pretty well. A lot of really close games, but the boys' game here this week, seemed to have some teams that are just a little mismatched.
Of course, Haggerty won a close one against Vero Beach in 8A.
Well, now, if you're sitting here in your Leesburg,
Oviedo.
Yeah, so there's been some good ones. It's kind of one or the other. You haven't had a lot of those traditional maybe 12, 15-point wins. It seems to be that they've been pretty close or blowouts.
62-61, Oak Ridge won that game. They will play Ely next at 5:05 for the Class 7A state championship.
Well, this is a great arena to play. The music's been good this week. The crowds have been good. Just getting a chance to come here for people who haven't been here very often, either as fans or players, come on down. It's a great experience, a great venue. And, I really feel excited for these kids and, something that they're going to remember forever.
A 25-point lead for number 1 Miami Norland. As we wind down this Class 6A state championship game. There'll be 2 remaining after this. An air ball in the corner, followed in, though, by McCray.
Yeah, that's just been sort of the MO of the day. Even if bad shots go on, just Norland just a little bit more active, getting in there, getting the rebound. A really bad air ball, but just picked up and put back in.
McCray now with 16 and another dunk for Roberts. That's 27 on the day. And that might be it for Cleon Roberts. We'll see if the coach decides to empty his bench. Well, looks like he's going to leave him in there.
Tuli coming out.
He will check out with only 6 points today, 1 field goal. But they were state champions last year. They'll be state runners-up this year.
Couple big trophies for the trophy case.
Yeah. Basket and 1. Trey Bisbee with all 4 of his points here in the quarter.
Yeah, maybe what you start thinking about here is putting some of your younger players in. We've talked about this in some of the other games, but since both teams do have a lot of seniors, you do want those people that are going to be your big pieces for next year's team to get a chance to get in here, so that if you do get back, you've played on the court, you've kind of gotten those jitters out of the way. So, maybe look for that a little bit. But at the same time, you don't want to show your team that you're giving up, because you always ask them to play 32 minutes, so you want to coach for 32 minutes too. But sometimes you got to look at the big picture.
Under 2 minutes to play, a 26-point lead for number 1 Miami Norland.
Yeah, Norland's going to their stall.
And that's going to be a travel, I do believe. Alan Whitlow, the referee, calls the travel.
And Norland's replacing the whole team.
Yep, fresh 5. That will do it for the starters. Big game today, both for Cleon Roberts and for McCray. McCray had 16 today.
And Norland's so deep, even their bench people coming in here for the first times. 3 of them are seniors.
We mentioned that the Georgia Southern signee Cleon Roberts with 27.
Deep 3 by Lake.
And that is his first points of the game.
That was deep. That was a good 24-footer.
He's a 6'1" junior, so he'll be back next year.
He's going to remember that. He's like, hey, I can shoot there.
Right. A little over a minute left. Ball almost stolen away, but instead a basket and 1 for Rodney Besant.
Yeah, I was hoping if we had to pronounce his name that you were going to do it.
Well, you should stick around for the Miami team.
Oh, tough? Oh,
there's some toughies there.
Good luck with that one. Tampa Prep was like that. They had quite a few. Ribagui and some of those kind of names.
Right.
A little tough.
And the 3-point play extends the lead, 62-36. Now under a minute to play in the 6A title game. Stripped and stolen. And the first points of the game for Jamel Peacock, a 5'9" senior. He's in the scorebook.
Again, that's why it's a good chance to give other people an opportunity to get in there. He could say, not only was I on a state championship team, I scored in a state championship game. So that's something you'll never take away from anybody.
Yeah, and even Otis Pitts can say, I got a block in the championship game. Try for 3. No good by Bedward. Some of the fans begin to head towards the exits.
Yeah, sometimes these big losses, you're going to get over the big losses a little bit faster, actually, than like a close one. Because, you've kind of already, dealt with the fact that you realized that you weren't going to win. So, again, they won a state championship last year. They got a runner-up here. So that's a special run. And so they're going to be remembered in the halls of Leesburg for a long time.
Stay tuned for the award ceremony. Romer, 5 seconds left. Romer in the lane, left it short, and that'll do it. Your final score, Miami Norland 64, Leesburg 36. Number 1 brings home the state championship. They become the first Dade County team to win football and boys basketball state titles in an academic year, and only the 4th school in Florida to accomplish the feat since the football playoff era began in 1963, as they joined Port St. Joe, Bradenton Southeast, and Cocoa to bring home football and basketball state championships. So it was a good run. Good run for the Yellow Jackets. Their season ends at 23-10. State runners-up. But congratulations to the Miami Norland Vikings. They are your 6A state champions with a record of 29-3. Will, once again, I enjoyed it. I appreciate it, man.
It's been fun. It's been a blast. We'll have to do it again.
Don't forget the award ceremony coming up next. We also have 2 more state championship games on tap. Join us at 5:05. Marty Palman will handle the broadcast of the Oak Ridge Ely game. And then at 8 o'clock, or 8:35, I'll handle the 8A game with Terry Prim right here on the FHSAA Network. You can buy DVDs of this broadcast by going to FHSAsports.com. How about the new hat there?
That's what I'm looking. I don't understand, but the
championship hats.
They look fly.
There's got to be a theme.
There's got to be something to that.
So congratulations to the Miami Norland Vikings as they bring home the Class 6A state championship Once again, the final score, Norland 64, Leesburg 36. For our entire Play On Sports crew and for my broadcast partner, Will White, I'm Mike Rideout saying so long for now from the Lakeland Center. Good afternoon and God bless. Yeah, appreciate it. Absolutely, yeah.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
Number 11.